Lynita Mitchell-Blackwell.
I love this part because it is not every day that you are introduced so warmly, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I'm pretty simple, very basic type person. And so I'm going to let you decide how you want this presentation to go. Do you want my story? Or do you want us to go through the presentation and I give you examples?
Story first.
Story. You want my story? Okay. Well, that's fair. Because I want you to understand that today is about you. And you need to be comfortable asking whatever it is you want to ask. There is nothing, and I do mean that you cannot ask. You can ask money. Because I know that a lot of times we tell ourselves, well, that's not polite. You're not here to be polite. You're here to get information. You can ask about family. You can ask about health. You can ask about the juggling act. You can ask about anything you want. So please, just raise your hand, shout it out. This is about you. Is that fair?
Yes.
Okay, so my story. I would love to tell you, and I can put this down while I do this. I would love to tell you that I came from these really meager beginnings, and I was sleeping in my car. And I don't have a story like that. When I finally realized my purpose, I was 37 years old. I had my own law firm. I was doing very well, married to a great guy, mom to a great daughter. So I'm being very honest with you about where I was. But like many of us who embrace success and who are blessed by it, there's still something that's missing. There was a void. I felt like I'm doing these great things and I'm helping people. I'm in the law. I'm doing one of the only areas of law that when people see the lawyer coming, they're happy, and that's real estate, right? Because I'm saving people money, they're getting the house, they're doing great things, right? But still, I did not feel like I was doing everything that I had been called to do. And that's just honest. Well, one time, during a time where it was just very silent in my life, not definitely, not like the Lord wasn't talking to me, just that I had rolled off a couple of boards that I served on. Work was not so busy. Home life had calmed down a bit. I could hear myself think. And what I heard is you need to be seated into. And so what I took that to mean is you need to get out, and instead of standing up here, you need to be sitting back there and listening to other people. And as soon as that came to me, I was invited to a vision board party. I went to it. And instead of doing what I normally do, which is write down all my goals and the things that I want to get accomplished, y'all know us type A's are like that. I instead sat there quietly and I meditated for a few minutes and I asked the Lord what He wanted from me. And so from that, He gave me a vision. I wrote these things down. Now, 2 years later, where I am right now at 39 in 2015, I can see how it all has come together. That's how we got to the empire. But at the time, it was very disjointed. They were just pieces on a piece of paper. Made no sense as to how these things were going to come together to help so many people. But I was like, I am a person who embraces pain. I'm a CPA and an attorney, for goodness sake. I can take this on, right? So the first thing that I did that was on that page was write a book. And it was funny because I remember saying, you know, Lord, you know we have a completion problem. Up to that point, I had started like 5 or 6 books and had not finished one. So I'm like, yeah, write a book here. First of all, I don't finish anything that I start, not like that. And second of all, what am I going to write about? Okay, so that's the first thing. You need to be able to tell your story. You have a lot of people out here whose books are nothing but a compilation of other people's experiences, right? So really, they are capitalizing on your hopes, your dreams, your story. Is that right? No, absolutely not. And so what I did is I wrote down things that had happened to me, things that I had seen. The good, the bad, and sometimes the ugly. You have to give that. You have to be authentic. Why? Because people do business with people that they like, people that they trust, people they respect. You will not respect me if I stand here and tell you that my life was peaches and cream and that I never went through anything. You can't relate to that. There is nothing about that that is relatable. But when I tell you, and this is honest, that on September 3rd, I am going to have a full hysterectomy, that for the rest of my life, I will be on hormone replacement, and that part of that is because I neglected my health and did not push my healthcare providers as hard as I should have years ago to solve what was very small in the grand scheme of things, because we just started off with fibroids. And now it's escalated to now all my lady parts are going to be removed. When I tell you that, see, now I have your attention, right? Now I have your attention. So I wrote the book and I put it out there. And I didn't really know what to expect from it. My friends and family purchased it because I love them and they love me. But there were other people who read the book and enjoyed it. Joyce is one of those people. Thank you, Joyce. Some of those people were in a position to invite me to speak to their groups. Now, when you first start going out to talk about your products and your services, I'm going to tell you, you're going to do it for free. And sometimes you're going to be invited to places that you're just like, oh, I wish I had not come here. How could they treat me like this? What? I have to pay for my own parking. That has happened at $32 a pop. That was not fun. Sometimes you're going to have to actually dig through a box that has the honorarium in it for all the other speakers and find the one with your name because they won't even take it out. Sometimes the honorarium is going to be, I don't have to make this stuff up, y'all. I'm saying. And sometimes the honorarium is going to be a box of Post-its. Like it would have killed you to go to Marshall's and buy $20 4 glass or 4 wine glasses, right? That would have killed you to do that, right? But I digress. We're talking about the story, right? So at first when you go out, you will be talking for free. Look at it as an opportunity to hone your message. This is the time to really get comfortable about why you're out here. But when you see my slide, you're going to say, but Lynita, you have yet to talk about the premise or the foundation of the empire yet. And that is the foundation, your purpose. Well, I didn't know what that was when I first started. Remember, I told you it was a disjointed vision on a piece of paper. I just knew what I liked and what I was good at. I was good at speaking, I was good at writing, I was good at reading. And so I started there. Okay, so I'm being invited out. Now people are starting to pay. This is pretty cool. I like this, right? Well, I also decided that as much as I was getting, I needed to give back. And so I reconnected with a nonprofit that I helped found years ago. And I facilitated that entire course for free. Little did I know that one of the people participating in the class was the director of an international nonprofit and invited me to India. Life-changing experience. Ladies, if there's nothing else that you take from what I say today, get your pennies together. The moment you can afford to go and do whatever you do overseas, somewhere, you need to go. International experience is a must, because that is what is going to set you apart from everybody else. And speaking of being one who is set apart, there is something I want to share with you that business coach Russ Rufino, who I love, said. When people come to you, I don't care what product or service you have, okay? When they come to you, they are not paying for your expertise. They are not paying for your education, your network, your certifications, or your designations. They are paying for their results. I'm going to repeat that. They don't care about anything that you have. They want to know what they get. And so everything that you do needs to be framed that way. And until you get your message tight like that, you will not climb as far as you can. Everything is going to sound like a sale. How can I say that? Bold Favor magazine. The moment that we made the transition from what we get to what our clients get, which would be our advertisers, we went from 3,000 subscribers to 103,000. Verifiable, real. You go on the website right now, you will see ads. I have no reason to lie or play with you. What did we do? Can anybody tell me the one thing that we did that changed life forever for all of us? We did, but what was the something? We gave it away for free. And I know y'all like, wait. You have 103,000 people who get your magazine free. How are you making money? Well, this is what we did. The digital, thank you, it's the advertising. So when I go and I talk to you about advertising in my magazine, what am I saying to you? 103,000 people
are going to
see your ad. So I'm not fighting with 103,000 individuals to pay 99 cents, $2.99 for a digital copy. I'm talking to one business owner and telling this person that if she signs up, that 103,000 people on the email list are going to get that, plus there'll be exposure on social media, plus we're going to run ads for you on Twitter and Facebook and LinkedIn. Plus, your name, your brand, your logo will be up and running at our events, which if any of you have had a chance to go on our website, you'll see that on the step and repeat. You reward loyalty. The people who were there for you when you had nothing, when your bills were longer than your money, when no one was in the room but your family and your friends, you reward those people and you never stop. That's right. Do you know why? Because those are the people who are going to be working for you when you sleep. Those are the people that you are going to have to call when things aren't going your way. Those are the people who are going to be willing to take over your business while you're down 6 weeks with this hysterectomy so that everything that you've worked for doesn't go down the drain. I am not being funny about that last statement. Last night, I just had a serious conversation with a gentleman who up to this point had simply been one of our writers. And I was just like, I really need you to be the managing editor for all of our magazines. We have 4 and 1 more rolling out next month. And he said, what do I need to do? Not how much you got to pay me. Did you hear what I just said? Someone who's been there from the beginning when we had no money to pay not one writer. But he was there from the beginning and he sees the vision, which for us, Bold Favor has always been framed. We highlight people, organizations, and causes who inspire us to do great things, to live fearlessly. I have not said Bold Favor's purpose is to highlight entertainers. I have not said Bold Favor's purpose is to get your money and to get it into our advertisers' pockets. Once again, the person who's reading the magazine, who is it about? It's about them. Okay, so the magazine was up and rolling. I was inspired to write another book, The Leading Lady Legacy. But I have to tell you honestly that the idea for the conference, the tour that we went on last fall, actually came first. I had not written one page, but had booked venues all over the southern United States and still had not written a book. My agent at the time, her head was about to explode. It was. Because I just said, not only had I not written anything, we've not had it edited. It's not, don't have a cover. There's been no publicity. Are you mad? No, I'm not mad. I'm inspired. I'm going with what I got. Put the cart in front of the horse. We rolling. I know that some of you have said, but I don't have the money. I don't have the connections. I don't have. Let's look what you do have. You have family and friends. If you have teenagers, you have a built-in work system.
Social media managers.
Thank you. Tell that, Sharice. Y'all are laughing, but let me tell you, the first author that I published, Stephanie Davenport, Evangelist Stephanie Davenport, she did a devotional. And I told her, I said, you need to get your daughter, Sharita, busy. Show her. She's only 13. She's irresponsible. This is not going to interest her. No, don't make her feel like she's doing some chore. Let her understand she's part of the team. And I tell you, that little girl, boy, she had that money going. And her mama's first book signing, like, Mama, she didn't pay. She needs to pay. I was like, wait, I'm a publisher. But she was on it. She was not only taking money, she was doing the live social media management. When it was time to break down so her and get off those 4-inch heels that I don't know how she walks in. She was the one who broke everything down and took it home. And she is so proud of her mom, and their relationship is so much stronger because of that. These are the things that we take for granted, but I promise you, you cannot do that. It always starts so small. That's your core. Now, some of us are not blessed enough to have supportive family like that. I know better than you can say. I have shamelessly bad relatives too. Thankfully, my parents and siblings are not included in that. But everybody's got cousin Pookie who just everybody has that person, right? So for those of you who have those folks, and more than your share, you can build your own warm circles with your friends. Get out into the community. Volunteer. I know some of you are thinking, Lynita, I just have so much going on with my life. I did too. Between work, being a first lady, being a mom of a little tot who is sweet but very active, my own law firm, at that point, 2 books that I'm pushing, and a new magazine. And remember, I had no experience in publishing. My whole background was in finance with accounting, and then I switched gears to go into law. So it's not like I had all this experience. But what I did have, everything that I knew how to go on Google and learn it. I knew how to go on YouTube and watch a video. I knew how to ask some of my little cousins who spend all their time on all these social media websites, how do I find out who's not following me on Instagram so I can not follow them? And my niece was like, so you could just get this app, I think it's called Unfollow. Right? And then you pay, I think it's only like $6 or $7. I don't want to pay anything. So she said, well, you can just go person by person. I said, wait a minute, baby, that was called unfollows. Because I'm not going through 5,000 people individually, right? But little things like that that we make. Yes, go ahead.
So with all the things that you were doing, how did you find time to do it?
And that's what I'm going to tell you. So everything that I was doing was in line with what I was supposed to be working on. And so while it seems like there were all these different little things, I made them work. How? When I go out, and some of you I've met out and about in different places, I am never there just randomly. I am there supporting someone else or a cause that I'm very passionate about. While I'm there, I am getting your name and your phone number. I'm probably going to interview you for bold favor, check. I'm going to contact you about doing some workshop with my nonprofit. Yep, that's going to happen. I'm going to talk to you about advertising at one of my events. Yep. And I just made some new friends. And I know you're going to be involved in something eventually, and I'll go to your event and do the same thing. That's how I do it. And it really makes it easier, particularly for those of you who are shy or introverted, because when you go to these events, you don't feel like you're an outsider. You don't feel alone. You don't feel like you need to go in the corner and just watch everybody have fun because you don't have anything in common with the folks in the room. You do, because you came here specifically to support Joyce, who is doing this Confident Bootcamp. So when I come up to Shanique and I say, hi, I'm Mitchell-Blackwell. I came here to support Joyce. Why are you here? She's going to respond, and then we've just started a conversation. And you can do that all night if you want to. You can do that all night if you want to. Okay, so now we move into the place where TV comes. So we're promoting the book, which I finally did publish, right? I got it done. And we're going from town to town doing radio and TV. And one of the places that we went, they had sent over a list. Any of you have done any media interviews, you know you have to tell them who you are and what's a little bit about you, your contact information. They're not just going to let you show up on this show. There were 3 of us. We got confirmation. We get there and they say, oh, we only have 2 mics. Well, that's unacceptable. I drove an hour and a half and my 2 ladies had driven an hour each, plus had taken off work. You're going to take them. After going back and forth, I said, you know what? I got something for this. No, I'm serious. See, anger is a righteous emotion. A lot of times people make you feel that you are unfeminine when you get angry. But that is not the case. Yes, righteous indignation can push you. And so what I did is I said, they will go on. I will give them notes about the conference. I don't need to go. That producer's head almost exploded. She was like, but this is yours. It's your face up there. I said the legacy was never about me. It was about communicating to women that there is no need to be a mini me. You need to be the big you. And if somebody else can't articulate that, particularly these two women who'd already been to 2 tour stops with me, if they can't say that, then something is wrong with me as the leader of that organization. All of a sudden, she runs back and they find a third mic. But I gotta tell you that that experience, I'm sorry, I'm gonna go there. That experience pissed me off. Okay? You don't treat my people like that. I'm serious. I am serious. And it got me to thinking, well, if you can have a show on TV and do as well as you do, how well can I do? And I know how to treat folks. So I'm serious. So I got on the phone with this wonderful gentleman that was in a small town that we visited. And I asked for a meeting. I wanted to ask him, how can you get on TV? And he was very gracious, invited me down. So once we were done with the tour, I went on down. I went in there with pencil and paper ready to take notes. Can y'all imagine what actually happened? I didn't take any notes. I was signing a contract because what I did not know is that the year prior, they had been searching for an African-American woman to head up a show on their station. And when I reached out to him to ask that question, he took my information. This is why y'all need your websites, and your bios, and your video, and whatever you have. It needs to be out there. He simply took that to the station owner, and he was like, make the offer. Period. I went in there asking for information. I walked out of there with a show. No experience. But that would never happen if I hadn't gotten mad. I'm serious. So we go through the TV, and we're getting all this exposure, and the magazine is growing, and so now we're leveraging, right? We're leveraging. And then it hits me. Okay, Lord, I see what all of this is about. We are supposed to be helping people. That my purpose is to bring people together, and that you are allowing me to do this through multiple media. And once I had that, I became much more comfortable talking about not just my story, but the things that were going on that great in the great American story. I am saying this because I was invited to a networking lunch. I knew I was going to be late. Don't laugh, Dominique. I'm late almost everywhere. But I knew I was going to be really late. But I had invited Dominique and a couple of other people, and I didn't want them to get there, and, you know, I'm not there. It happened anyway because I was so late. Dominique had left by the time I got there. But I still went. Well, by the time I got there, there was only one seat available. And it was next to Jack Trey, who has a radio station, Sleep Radio. And so we were just doing a normal chit-chat. He said, how are things going? And I was honest. I said, you know, things at the station aren't really going all that high. And just being candid with you, the station owner had already had MS, but it was getting progressively bad to the point where it was starting to affect his heart. And his doctor had restricted him to only going to work 2 days a week. Well, that meant that a lot of the things that we had discussed about pushing a show out, he wasn't able to do because of health reasons. I can't get mad at that. That is either you do what the doctor says and you live to see your last child who's graduate from high school, or you do what I want you to do and you're dead in 2 weeks. I mean, it's right, no brainer. You know what you're going to do. And he was like, wait, what? And so I just told him honestly what had happened again, and he said, I'd love to have you on my station. We have a spot open at 10 a.m. on Mondays, the same time that your show comes on down there. And I was like, wait. I was like, Jeff, you never even heard my show. He was like, I look at you on Facebook. I see what you're doing.
Wow.
And I mean, really? You've not even seen my show. And so I walked out of that lunch that I only came to because I was so late, so that Dominique and my other girlfriend wouldn't be sitting there by themselves, and they still were. I'm so sorry, girl. And walked down there for the radio show that starts in November. I am telling you this because once you hit your stride and you realize why you are here, boy, your blessings do this. But you got to be invested in it. You got to be passionate about it. When I was talking about not taking the shortcuts and saying that you got to enjoy the process, that's what I'm talking about. There has to be a fire in you, a passion in you. Getting there is just as important as how you got there. Because you want to share that with your children and your grandchildren. Because the empire is not important unless there's legacy. And legacy is only worth passing down if it's good.
Oh, say that.
I'm serious, if it's good. There is nothing. And many of you who have small children who have come to my events, you know they are always welcome. There is nothing that I'm involved in that I'm ashamed that my child cannot come to. And if you invite me to something like that, I'm going to decline to come. I'm telling you that because my child is 7 and she needs to know why mommy is gone a lot. And she is one of my biggest supporters. When you meet her, she'll say, "Hi, I'm Angelica Blackwell, and we have a magazine." I'm serious. I am serious. But she can't embrace that if I'm peddling mess. And it's hard because sometimes mess is easy.
Yes.
It sells. People like being distracted by what other folks have going on, and so they don't have to address what's going on in their lives. But that is not what you need. So now, let's talk about the steps to empire. This won't take long. Take a picture of this. Everybody has their phones. Go ahead. This is how you're going to do it. These are the steps, period. Know how to the ball. This is what you must do. I don't care what you sell. Mary Kay, beauty control, the wrap, the tea. Everybody does this. I am serious. Everybody, these are the steps. This is what they do. My coaches, my pastors who are looking to build your churches, my ladies who have things that they have invented, those of you who are writing books, this is the step. And the reason that some of these look a little non-conforming is because you've never seen them in this way. But this is how every millionaire made it, period. It started with a vision. I didn't say purpose because most people don't even realize their purpose until they're older. I'm 39 and I'm just hitting my stride. There are people who are 20 years older than me who couldn't articulate it if they asked them. But they do know what they like and they know what they're good at, and so you need to start there. Then you need to get comfortable telling your story. Now, whether that's a book or whether that's just some narrative you have to get comfortable telling people about you. Because remember, for a prize, who can tell me why is it important that you can, tell your story? What are they not paying for? You already went way too much. Yeah.
But it's keep on. They're not paying for your education, your degrees. They're paying for what they can give.
Thank you. You're very welcome. So she just walked into her kingdom of empire. You've got to be comfortable sharing it, and you've got to give. We don't want to hear that because honestly, we're looking to get. We have bills to pay. Can we be honest? I got a mortgage, I got a car note, I have a child that needs braces. I know. I'm serious. I know, okay? But initially, you must give. And do you know about confidence, why it's good to give? Because it means that you trust that you are so good and that God is going to bless you so good that there is more to come.
That's right.
That's
That
right.
there is nothing that you can give that you're not going to get 10 times more. I can share all of this with you because if you come to me and say, Lynita, I want you to help me build my empire, I have so much more to share. Excited about sharing. Can't wait to share. And there's going to be more because as I grow, you will too. Right? Wow, this one looks a little weird. Praise others. Why is it important to shout out other people, to come to things that you might feel I've been hitting you. Why is it important? Oh yes, but we know folks like that, right? They forget they started here. Boy, now that they can afford their red bottoms and their Prada, you can't tell them a thing.
Yes, Lord.
But it is important that you come out and that you support. Everybody has 15 minutes. You can come and poke your head in. I don't care how busy you are. You can do that. And if you can't, you can support them by publicizing their events, by sharing with other people, by making a donation from time to time. Even if the product, hey, you might not be that into it yourself, but you can try it and give some good feedback. Those are things you can do. Invest in your brand. I know all of you know about this because you're here. Please, please, please take this, write it down. Every quarter, you must pay money to somebody to seed into you. I do the free stuff too. Everything is not and cannot be free. Anybody want to tell me what their mother told them and their grandmother told them about free? You get what?
You pay for.
And if everything is free, what'd you pay for?
Nothing.
And so what's all that worth?
Nothing.
For the keys to the kingdom, to the empire. Can anybody tell me why it's important to put the cart before the horse? You need to stop.
I'm not eligible.
And you will speak up.
I really want to go for it. I know, I really want to do.
Anybody, why is it important not to wait until you have the experience, not to wait until you have the money or the network? Yes.
Because you are using your opinion as a barometer as to when you have enough, and therefore you're going to always be looking for that horse, and you'll never get out there. That's deep.
That's a
I
deep one.
like that.
Go, girl.
I would never frame it like that. So, you, the horse that never come out the barn fooling around with that. And boy, that anger, we're going to use it to motivate us. We're not going to be crazy women. I've been there, done that. It accomplishes nothing. But we are going to be slow and controlled. We're going to be deliberate. We're going to allow it to be the fire that really gets under us. We're going to help others, and we're going to reward loyalty. Growing with grace. Let's talk about that for just a couple of seconds. So you know that the more that you get, the bigger your responsibilities come. How many of you are familiar with the prayer Jabez? Okay, so I love it. I say it every day, but I tweaked it, and so I call this Jabez on steroids. Lord, that you would bless me indeed and enlarge my territory. Wait for it, so that there is not room enough to receive it. That you allow me to direct the overflow to those who are united in mission, and that is kingdom building. That thy hand be with us, that you bless us with the resources, the money, the team, the talent, the wisdom, the knowledge, the empathy, the compassion, the love, and the grace, and the mercy to properly manage it all.
Yes.
That thy hand be with us and keep us from evil.
Yes, God.
That you bless us mentally,
Yes, God.
emotionally, physically, mentally, and financially. In your name, O Lord. Amen.
Amen.
See, we totally covered that. We told God what we want, and that we are asking that it is in His will.
Yes,
And we
Lord.
were honest and said, Lord, I want money. And let me tell you something. If y'all have never read the book, The Prayer Jabez by Dr. Bruce Wilkinson, please pick it up. Because one of the things that I love about him is he's saying there is everything right for you to want financial prosperity. Everything right with that. You cannot allow somebody to be to shame you about that. Do you know why? Because it takes money to get things done.
Yes, that's right.
And if you're spending all your time asking other people for it, then what are you not doing? You're not working in a vineyard.
Yes.
And if you really want to take this to a place where it can really resonate for you. When somebody else is giving you the money, who's in control?
That person. Mm-hmm.
So what happens to your voice and your message?
Control by somebody. Mm-hmm.
Totally diluted, hijack, takeover, however you want to call it, is taken over. Embrace multiple lines of businesses. This is how you're going to make your money. I make money with my book sales, the magazine, my speaking engagements. I actually still do have my law firm, which has expanded from just real estate to also sports law and entertainment, because I'm in the entertainment world now.
That's right.
And I'm meeting different people who need lawyers. Surround yourself with good people. Surround yourself with good people. Surround yourself with good people. You all have at least one person you need to coach right now. Do it. I know it sounds harsh, but you do not have time anymore for foolishness. You just don't. And then the last thing, build with love. For the person who gets the crown, who can tell me, and Dominique, if you raise your hand, I'm
Well, one, you already messed up giving my tangible keys to the kingdom and my tangible crown. Don't understand it.
Why is love so important? Because
This one needs to speak. You. In front of me, her. You know.
She is.
Wendy.
Yes,
Her name is Wendy.
Wendy, you know.
What? I didn't
Answer the
hear
question.
Okay, why is it important that we build with love? I'll give you a hint. Every house is built on a foundation. Okay, if the foundation is not properly set, what happens to the walls? Don't cheat. Go ahead.
I want the crown.
You gotta give me that. And it's just like during the real estate boom that we saw, which turned into a bust. They threw up those monstrosities, those huge homes. But the foundation wasn't right. And when it finally did settle, you walked into those homes that still had not sold a year, 2 years, 3 years later. And what did you see in the walls? All these structural deficiencies. The cracks in the walls. The plumbing that doesn't work right. The smell that you just can't get rid of because you don't understand that there's mold behind the walls. That's what happens when you don't build with love. That is the foundation of everything you do. And you can call it whatever you want, but that is it. So that is how to build your empire one brick at a time. Ladies, thank you so much. I really enjoyed it.